just a whatever is written. See, nothing is to be important that much. Just whatever is in the syllabus, it is given, it is distributed among weeks. There will be total 16 weeks, and there will be total 4 class tests. Since we cannot take physical class test, যদি physical class test না নেওয়া যায়, as we proceed, there will be 4 assignments, and there will be 4 assignments that will be converted into 4 class tests, and best 3 will be counted. And there are 10 marks for assignment. Okay, let's see. Here is a project paper assignment. এখানে 10 মার্ক আছে 100 এর মধ্যে. I will take your presentation on every week. I'll from next week I'll give you the name and topics, and subsequently from after 3rd week onwards you will give a presentation of like 5 to 10 minutes everyone, and that weightage will be converted into this 10 marks. Attendance 10 marks, class test 10 marks, 30 marks, midterm 20 marks, 50 marks, and final exam will be 50 marks, total 100. Okay, then and see the grading system will follow, and your attendance will have 10 marks. If it is more than 90% attendance, then you get 10 out of 10. This is the attendance mark. Okay, and below 75 there is no mark, because 75 is the minimum percentage or attendance percentage that they should maintain for getting some number in attendance. All about this, I have given this copy to you. If you have any question, you can ask me now or later, no problem. These are the topics we'll be covering as we proceed. Any question about this? Hello?
Sir, presentation এর ব্যাপারে স্যার একটু আরেকটু ক্লিয়ার করলে ভালো হতো।
বলি আবার?
স্যার, প্রেজেন্টেশন এর ব্যাপারে যেটা বললেন ওইটা একটু আরেকবার বলুন।
আমি বললাম আগামী সপ্তাহ onwards আমি প্রত্যেক we have got total 16 weeks. আমি ধরলাম 16 weeks থাকবে না, around 11 or 12 weeks আমরা সময় পাবো। যদি 11th week হয় এবং আমাদের লোক সংখ্যা যদি হয় around 50, so every class we have to 4 to 5% has to give presentation. A 4 to 5% যদি attendance presentation দিতে হয়, it would take 5 মিনিট করে হলো half an hour, আর আসা যাওয়া যদি 10 মিনিট করে হয়, this is 50 minutes. So আমি ধরে নিচ্ছি in average around 40 to 45 minutes will be for presentation in every class, and that performance of that presentation will be converted into 10 marks, the 10 weightages. Any have you understood? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The presentation will carry 10 weightages, and every week there will be 4 to 5%. At times it will be maybe more than that. Will be giving presentation. So topics will be given from next week onwards with some flexibility, so that you can also choose your own topics.
তাহলে কি প্রত্যেকের আলাদা আলাদা তাহলে টপিক থাকবে স্যার? প্রত্যেকে আলাদা আলাদা প্রেজেন্টেশন করবে নাকি স্যার গ্রুপ ওয়াইজ?
না, ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল।
ওকে স্যার,
ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল, অ্যাবসলিউটলি ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল। ওকে, এখানে আর কিছু আমি microwave communication, but problem is that with the progress of our increase,
স্যার রেকর্ডের পারমিশনটা দিলে ভালো হতো স্যার।
কোনটা?
রেকর্ডের পারমিশনটা স্যার।
হ্যাঁ, করো, অসুবিধা নেই, করো।
না স্যার, মানে এখানে মানে মেকানিক্যালি রেকর্ডের পারমিশনটা দিতে হবে আমাকে আর কি। আদারওয়াইজ এখান থেকে রেকর্ড
কত নাম্বার তোমার? আইডি কত?
হ্যান্ড রেজ
হ্যান্ড করছি স্যার।
আমার নামের উপর রাইট বাটনে ক্লিক করে ওখানে দেখেন
সাইদ
জি স্যার মারুফ হাসান স্যার দুইজন
সাইদকে দিচ্ছি, বেশি কপি দেবো কেন? ওকে, আস টু ভিডিও, ভিডিও রেকর্ড কি করলাম
স্যার কো-হোস্ট করে দিলেও হবে স্যার।
record local allow to record local files.
জি স্যার ওইটাই।
Okay, হ্যাঁ, ওকে
স্যার
Recording in
দুজনের দিলে
progress.
সুবিধাটা কি হয়, যদি একজনের প্রবলেম হয় তাহলে আর কি আরেকজনের থেকে যাবে, এই কারণে আর কি সাধারণত
কারেন্ট চলে যেতে পারে।
Recording stopped.
Okay, see,
Recording in progress.
any communication system, it has three components. One is transmitting end, one is receiving end, and there are mechanism or medium of communication that covers the distance. So initially, let us think that it is a physical wire, copper wire, that is to connect the distances, or to transmitting and receiving end. As technology advanced, as demand advanced, so this gap had been covered by many mediums like microwave communication, copper wire, satellites, and so on. But at last, it proved that these medium are insufficient to face the demands. And for last 50 years or even more, there were huge researches on how to improve this communication medium. And people at different corner of the country, main brilliant students, they carried out all these studies, how to get better medium for communication. Then at one time, people started using light as medium of communication, free light. So like torchlight from here, the torchlight receiver and the other end. So it is free space communication, light transmitting from one end and type light receiving at the other end. So initially, this mechanism worked, but very poor condition, because if there is rain, if there is fog, if there is any obstacles in between, the communication medium was unreliable. That means light could not be transferred from transmitting end to receiving end. So people started thinking how to do it better. Then people came to a solution, that is optical fiber, the guided wave, not free space. Now people have started using a cable through which light can be passed, now using total internal reflection criteria. So initially, this was not that much encouraging, because at that time the loss of light was very high. So it could not be transmitted even few hundreds meters. And due to limited technology or limited development in the technology, this light could not be transmitted for longer distance. So people started working how to increase the length of the cable, optical fiber or guided cable, and to minimize the loss. In initially 1960s, it was, even 70s, it was multi-mode communication. That means in the same optical guide, there were number of channels transmitted, but and people also started working on coherent communication. And there are also another problem, that if the length of the cable is longer like few hundred kilometers, Then in between, repeaters were placed, which used to regenerate the transmission. How? Optical communication, the signals were converted into electrical signal. It is to be amplified. Again, transmission is to be carried out, and so on. So this regeneration was also another problem. But in 1987, there was a massive development in optical communication. That is the online amplifier. That means without converting the optical signal to electrical signal, the signal could be amplified. This online amplification possible. After that, people forgot about multi-mode communication. Single mode communication was again taken back with gradually in 2007 onwards, people had started again moving to from direct detection method to coherent detection. And it proved that a huge bandwidth opportunity of the optical communication could be exploited. And now we compare this optical fiber communication bandwidth or speed of the communication with other mechanisms like copper wire, like microwave communication. So whenever we talk how much better it is from copper wire. Copper wire communication কিরকম bandwidth করা যেত, কিরকম distance cover করা যেত. Now we always compare it, the optical fiber communication with that one. If we compare, it is thousand times better in terms of speed, in terms of bandwidth. Even now, are people are coming to another further complaint. It is also not enough, because now every moment we use video, no more audio. We are not happy with only audio. Once upon a time, we were very happy only with audio. কানের মধ্যে কারো কথা ওই যে এক্সপেক্টেড ভয়েসটা যদি এসে শুনতো, মানুষ এতেই খুশি ছিল। এখন আর now people are not happy by mere listening to sound. বলে কি ভিডিও অন করো, কি বলো হিমাদ্রি, তাই না? হিমাদ্রি, হ্যালো হিমাদ্রি, ইয়েস, নাম ধরলেই ভিডিও অন করবা। আমি দেখতে চাই যে তুমি বসে আছো নাকি শুয়ে আছো। ভিডিও অন করো, বললাম না, নাম ধরলেই ভিডিও অন করবা। ইয়েস, দেখা যাচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে, মানে এতটুকু হলে হবে। জিনিসটা হলো এই, যার নাম ধরবো বা রোল নাম্বার বলবো, প্লিজ উইদাউট ফার্দার রিমাইন্ডার সুইচ অন ইউর ভিডিও. That will give an indication that you are whether you are read in the class or not, or sleeping. It is just একটা আমার রিমাইন্ডার করার জন্য। আর আমি বললেই তোমরা ভিডিও অন করবে, যার কথা বলি। সো যেটা বললাম, তাই না, আগে শুধু ভিডিও শুনলেই মানে সরি অডিও শুনলেই মানুষ খুশি হয়ে যেত। নাও পিপল আর নট হ্যাপি উইথ only audio. People want to see the video as well. Man, the whom he or she is talking, he want to see the other end. So that is the that is okay. Of course, that is the requirement. Now it is normal to us. Nowadays we see video movie online. তাই না? Online movie দেখি. How much bandwidth is required? Huge bandwidth is required. If everyone started seeing, আমি আমার বাসায় দেখি, আমি একটা ভিডিও দেখি, আমার ওয়াইফ একটা ভিডিও দেখে, মেয়ে আরেকটা দেখে, সবাই ভিডিও দেখছে, মানে হলো ইউটিউব এন্ড সো, তাই না? সবাই হ্যাজ বিন কমন. If everybody starts using video, how much bandwidth is required throughout the country? Huge. And it's only optical fiber, it is giving this support. Nothing, no other means can even imagine to give this much of এফোর্ট। যদি তাই হতো তাহলে ঢাকা শহরের আগে তো টিএনটি তার তো মাটির নিচ দিয়ে যেত, ঢাকা শহরে কোনো মাটি থাকতো না, সবগুলো তার হয়ে যেত। তবুও এই পরিমাণ ব্যান্ডউইথ সাপোর্ট দেওয়া সম্ভব হতো না if we had been using copper wire. So this is only optical fiber is the solution which could give us. Now see, I am talking to you. You are talking to me using video, online video, and how much bandwidth is required? Is a huge bandwidth required, and is the only solution is would be possible only because of this optical fiber. Remember, it's all telephone operators. They are using this optical fiber communication nowadays as the backbone, and that's why it is possible that we could communicate this. So, optical fiber communication advantage বলার এখন দরকার নাই। অনেকটা it is well, এটার অ্যাডভান্টেজের কথা বলতে গেলে বলাটাই বোকামি, বরং এটা শুধুই অ্যাডভান্টেজ, কোনো লিমিটেশন দেখি না। But people are still working how to increase the bandwidth further. আরো দরকার, মানুষের চাহিদার শেষ নাই, আরো দরকার, and every day it is increasing. People are demanding more and more bandwidth. So that's why that it is a duty of the engineers, the system designers, to know how to face the requirements, present and future, present requirement and future requirement, and how to plan the communication systems so that it is not obsolete after 1 year, after 2 years, after 5 years, so that our system design can serve us for a longer duration, like 10 years, 20 years, and so. So this optical, this the communication system is a system where we have 3 things: transmitter, medium, and receiver, as we have been discussing. And since 1980, Alexander Graham Bell is the first person who started transmission of speech using light beam. So it is a old story, but at that time people did not even think how to use the optical fiber communication, the one which we are using. At that time, like from a remote location, you are using light on, off. You understand? আমি আজ আসবো না। হ্যালো, ধরো তোমার যাকে তুমি সিগন্যাল দিতে চাচ্ছ সে আরেক বিল্ডিং এ বিছানা কি রুফটপে বসে আছে, তুমি আর দূরের আরেক রুফটপ থেকে লাইট বলবে যে আমি যদি লাইট অন অফ এরকম 4 বার করি, দুইবার অন 2 বার অফ করি, তাহলে তুমি বুঝবে। ইনফ্যাক্ট সে দেখবে 2 বার অন করেছে, তো 2 বার অন করে যদি এরকম, তাহলে বুঝবা যে আজকে আমি আসতে পারবো না, আজকে আসবো না, নো মোর মিটিং টুডে। আর যদি এরকম হয় আমি 3 বার করি, অন অফ আবার অন, মানে 3 বার অন দেখবে ওদিক থেকে, তাহলে হয় যে আমি আসতেছি। তারপরে যদি আমি এরপরে যদি আমি বলি 1 2 3 4 5, আমি 5টার সময় আসবো, something like this. So at that time the communication was like that. 1880 it was exactly like this. So light is to give communication, but light not the sense we are using now. At that time it was a signal itself. Now we are using light as a medium of communication, as a carrier. So that was not, at that time it was not carrier. So gradually we started thinking about how to radio frequency and other usable frequency, how it can be transmitted further. Then it gradually came in 1960. So at that time the laser was invented, and laser means you can get a light source with limited line width. Line width means যে আমাদের যেই ক্যারিয়ার সিগন্যাল থাকবে তার ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি থাকবে নিয়ার টু এ স্পেসিফিক ফ্রিকোয়েন্সি। এই একটা ফ্রিকোয়েন্সির সিগন্যাল তৈরি করা নট পসিবল, বাট যত কম করা যায়, কম ফ্রিকোয়েন্সির সিগন্যাল, যে সিগন্যালের ব্যান্ডউইথটা বেশি না, কম করা যায়, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য বেটার অ্যাজ এ, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য বেস্ট। যত কম লাইন উইথ হবে ততই এটা বেটার ফর for using as carrier. I mean, so what is line width? Line width is the bandwidth of the carrier. Line width হলো ক্যারিয়ারের ব্যান্ডউইথ। ওকে, সো এখানে গ্র্যাজুয়ালি বললো যে এখানে 1966 কাও অ্যান্ড হকহাম and Reeds. So they have the proposal of optical communication by dielectric waveguide and or optical fiber. So 1966 কিন্তু initially আমাদের এই আমরা এখন যে optical fiber দিয়ে communication করে যেই concept that concept was first proposed 1966, and at that time the loss was very high, 1000 dB per kilometer, very high. So it could not, there after but 10 years, 1966 এর পরে almost after 10 years the loss was low and it could be brought down to only 5 dB per kilometer, and at that time people are very happy, 5 dB per kilometer, but people are not that happy because it needs further reduction. So gradually this loss at present it came down to 0.2 dB per kilometer, only 0.2 dB per kilometer. So it was also CC. The lowest loss was 0.1484 dB per kilometer. That is the lowest loss so far. And there are different windows of light which could be used as carrier. 800 or 780 nanometer, then 1350 nanometer, then 1550 nanometer and plus. So there are different windows of carrier, which of light which could be used as carrier. Now the EDFA, erbium doped fiber amplifier, that is a milestone. See, 1986, it became a milestone which could be used as inline or online inline optical amplifier, because it allowed us to stress the length of communication for hundreds of miles without repeater, keeping the signal in the light domain and without converting it from light domain to electric domain, again electric domain to light domain. No such conversion is required after the development of this EDFA, after the invention of this EDFA. And other associated components or tools became available gradually, and the technology could provide those with fine and better performance, like spices, connectors, couplers, and active device like sources, then detectors, amplifiers, and so on. So all these components could support further development in the optical fiber system. Then let us see how a general communication system could look like: information source, transmission medium, then receiver, that is the demodulator, and destination. This is a typical communication system. But a optical fiber communication system has further systems like first information system, last destination. That remains same. That means আমি কথা বলবো আর যে কথা শুনবে. In between we have additional systems like electrical transmitter, optical source, optical cable. This optical cable makes this system optical fiber communication. That is the primary main factor, optical fiber. Okay. Then optical detector, then electrical receiver, and then destination. So see, transmitter and receiver is here also. Transmit and receive. but this medium is the optical fiber is the medium. But here we have an optical source and here is an optical detector. These two things are additional for making it optical fiber communication. And a digital optical amplifier, it can be like this. Okay, this laser, optical fiber, then it is a detector, and then so on. In fact, the previous one, that means 1.2 figure and 1.3 figure, they are they has got lot of similarities. Now, the optical fiber communication has got a good number of advantages, enormous potential bandwidth. Like it is thousands of times better than a copper width. Then small size and bandwidth. It is the width is like here. So a cable of this width and a cable of like a copper wire, it cannot be compared. So in terms of size and weight, optical fiber is much more better than electrical isolation. Like if you lay any copper wire, there is a possibility of getting leakage, short circuit, and so. But in optical fiber, there is no such opportunity, possibility of getting leakage or short circuit, and so on. Immunity to interference and crosstalk. So since it is in optical level, so and our surrounding noises are of limited frequency, like in the RF frequency, in the low level frequency, so it cannot interfere with light. So there is no interference or the possibility of mixing the surrounding noises with the light signal. That signal security, you cannot cut a optical fiber without being detected. If you cut a fiber or if you make junctions, then it will be easily detected. But in case of electric wire, copper wire, you can easily tap and easily get the signal back. So in that point of view, your optical fiber communication is much more secure. Low transmission loss. So now it is 0.2 dB. See, here is written 0.15 dB per kilometer. This is very low loss. Then ruggedness and flexibility. You can, though it seems that can we twist the cable? Can we bend the cable? Yes, you can bend and twist the cable as per requirement, but not excessive. That is the limitation, not excessive. But as আমাদের যতটুকু বেন্ড করা দরকার অপটিক্যাল ফাইবারকে তার থেকে বেশি বেন্ড করা যায়, so it is not a problem in bending the cable. Then system reliability and ease of maintenance. System in terms of how frequently it goes off. একটা অপটিক্যাল ফাইবার কমিউনিকেশন যখন তখন নষ্ট হয়ে যায় না, যদি ফিজিক্যালি কেটে দেওয়া হয়. So thereby the reliability of such system is much higher. Then potential low cost. If you plan any optical fiber communication system that will last more than 20 years or even 30 years, which is much more than the copper wire. And you can if you consider a long-term investment, then this optical fiber has got very low cost. Now, the last one is the ITU TG652 standard. It was initiated in November 2016. That is almost 5 years ago. It speaks about the standard that is being followed for optical fiber communication. I want to